Hey, howdy there, folks. I'm Matt Street. Welcome to my channel. Glad you're all back, and just thought I'd do a little chit chat with Matt. Yeah, folks. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe make this kind of like a new, not really a series, but just when I'm just in the mood, not to do anything specific, like review a new album or show something recent I bought in the store. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this I got. Hey, look at this I got. I figure let's just talk music. I'll show a few things that I, been listening to lately, and throw my thoughts about them at you. You can throw your thoughts back at me in the comments, what you think of some of the things I'm showing. I don't know if you can hear in the background. It's called Shake It Up, not the Cars song. This is by the Criers. Shake It Up by the Criers. They just happen to be the song that's on as I play this. The Criers came out in the late 70s, maybe coming into the 80s they lasted. Just kind of a basic little power pop band. And they put out this song called Shake It Up, which is I should say it's got a little parentheses, Shake It Up, Ain't It Time. Have you heard that song before? It's just a great little tune. Great little power pop album from the late 70s, 78 or so, I think. A couple of guys don't really look power pop on there. This guy kind of looks like me a few years ago. Come on, dude. Got look a little more power pop and rock and roll. What do they always say with power pop music? There's no beards or mustaches in power pop, So the guy, he didn't get the memo, I guess, But anyway, good little album, folks. The Criers, check them out. Not sure how many total albums they have, but they're a good little band. Every once in a while they come down here, grab a Coke Zero, or maybe an adult beverage, and sit down and throw on the Criers, throw on some of these other albums I'm going to show you. This is another band I love too, folks. The Pez Band. I've been listening to them a lot lately. Another band from late 70s coming into the 80s, power pop. This one happens to still be in the shrink. As you can see, this is their first album. Back. The big hit on this one was a song called Baby It's Cold Outside. Have you heard that song? Oh, look it up. I mean, you people, as I'm talking and telling you about this stuff, write down some notes or something, like the Criers, Shake It Up, Ain't It Time. Look, if you have like a Spotify or Pandora or whatever you have, streaming service, look it up and check out these songs. I'm telling you, you'll have a really fun listen. And for this album here, the Pez Band, it's called Baby It's Cold Outside. Check it out. I think you'll really love it. And you'll start to get a feel as I tell you about some of these songs and albums and things that, where my music background is coming from and what I really truly love. Although I have a wide range of loves of music, as I'm sure many of you do, but boy, I'm really into the pop, the power pop and rock, that kind of stuff. I could sit down here if I had time, if all my life was just listening to the music I love. I'd be down here all day just putting on album after album, CD after CD. It's just, it just makes me so happy, folks. And in these times, it's an escape. It's just an escape for me. I'm sure it is for you. But I thank the Lord every day and God that I have this passion and love for this kind of music. The Beatles and, whether it's the blues or jazz or fusion or disco or whatever you like, country, I don't care what it is, we all have different tastes out there. I watch many of your channels, those of you that have channels, and it's so diverse what we all listen to, but in our own little universe, in our own little cocoon. Isn't it wonderful when you can get into that little cocoon of the music you love and just get into it? I'm sorry, I'm rambling on here, folks. You don't want to hear me ramble, you want to look at albums and stuff. This one, I spent a couple extra bucks on it a couple of years ago, but it's by the Scruffs, a really hard to find, kind of rare power pop band that came out of, I want to say Tennessee, Memphis. They were, in the same area where Big Star was back in the 70s. And I just want to move the album out of the way. I have it out of the cardboard because this album is so rare that I didn't want anything to happen to this cover. The cover's a little beat up with ring wear, but this is such a hard album to find. Want to meet the Scruffs? If you can, folks, if you can find this on your Spotify or somewhere, I'm not sure if it's there, but get this album and check it out. The song I want you to focus in on this one is a song called My Mind, M-Y-M-I-N-D, My Mind. Wow, that was the first song that turned me on to the Scruffs, and I've been a fan ever since. You got Stephen Burns, he's kind of the leader and lead singer over here. Believe it or not, he's still out there doing it. You know, I think he still has a Scruffs band. It's not the originals like the other three guys are long gone, but he has a semblance of the Scruffs, I should say. And he's still out there. He still makes recordings and that. But this is their first and very rare, hard to find power pop album. And check out the song My Mind. I think you really love it. So much fun. And I'm so glad you're here. I just love talking about this stuff and showing it to you. I love this band too, B-52s. I happen to grab this one, but I love the first album, which I call the Yellow Album, and this is the Red Album. That's what I do anyway, but you know, then you've got Whammy, and there's just so many other great albums. You know, I even love Cosmic Thing, and they've got a new one, or recent one in the last few years called Funplex. I just love them. They're just a great, fun band. The song on here that I really like is, where is it? Private Idaho. I love I mean, I love everything I'm showing you, folks. I love every song, but Private Idaho is probably one of my favorites on here. 53 Miles West of Venus. It's just a great fun album, folks. B-52's Wild Planet. Check it out when you get a chance. Just recent stuff. This is the pile of recents. And some of you might say, with this one, like, oh, that's not the best ELO to be listening to. Folks, I love this album. I don't care. Yeah, I love Out of the Blue. I know Out of the Blue is considered the creme de la creme, the greatest. And then Discovery came out a couple of years later, which was the big commercial smash album for them. But this was their last one under their first run. But you know what? Balance of Power came out in 1986. Yeah, it's got an 80s sound to it, but boy, Jeff Lynne, I don't care what era it is, he's such a genius, and he just comes up with such great melodies and hooks, and I love this album. And I'll be honest, when it first came out, I didn't really dig it as much as I dig the other ELO stuff, but you know what? Over the last couple of decades, this has really grown on me. And the song on here, I'll just pick one. I like so many. Calling America's great. I mean, Heaven Only Knows, So Serious. There's just a lot of good stuff on here. Good stuff. Oh, here's a twofer here. I've been digging this band lately, the Bangles. I've got several more. I've got a couple of colored vinyl releases of theirs, and I think their final one was called Everything. It came out after Different Light here. And I don't have that one on vinyl, but I have it on cassette and a CD somewhere. But I just grabbed this one. This is all over the place. Picture of the ladies on the back. I love Hero Takes a Fall. Live, they do the merry-go-round song. And as you remember, the merry-go-round also had Emmett Rhodes in that band. Sadly passed away recently, Emmett. But the song Live, they do a cover of that. Great stuff. Going Down to Liverpool. Just a good album, folks. Something fun to listen to. Throw it on and go for it. And of course, this one, a very famous, well-known album, Different Light. There's pictures of the ladies on there. And of course, on this one, you're getting all the, the big guns. You're getting Manic Monday and Walking Down Your Street, Walk Like an Egyptian. It's just a great album. But all the other stuff is awesome too, folks. It's just a great pop, power pop, female power pop album, and I love it. I'm telling you, just fun stuff, folks. And I'm just glad you're here. Glad we can share some of this stuff, and maybe some of the ones I'm holding up, you're going, yeah, right on, Matt, I love that. And maybe some of you are going, what's the matter with him? But what's the matter with you, huh? I don't know what you're saying, but anyway, hope you're enjoying this. The Searchers came back in the late 70s into the early 80s. They put out a couple of stellar albums. This one's kind of a rare, hard one to find in its original pressing, but I happen to have a promo copy. It's called Love's Melodies. Love's Melodies. It's a great, great, great album. The first one came out in '79. I think that was just self-titled, called The Searchers, when they made their little comeback. That's a fabulous album, folks. Check out that one also. The Searchers from 1979. But this one, they were on the Sire label. Okay, Sire. But check out Love's Melodies also. This is kind of a forgotten one, and it's got a lot of great stuff on it. Silver, Infatuation. They do a cover of John Fogerty's Almost Saturday Night. Love's Melody is great. Andy McMasters wrote that one. Alex Chilton's September Girls, they do a cover. And it might be a Tom Petty on here as well. I'm not sure. That could be on the first one. But Tom Petty was involved in writing a song for them about this time. So this is a promo, as I said. But check out the Sire sessions of The Searchers, 1979, and then I think this was 80 or 81. Great, great stuff, folks. I really, really love it. I mean, I put this stuff on at least once a month. I grab a Searchers from either the first one from '79 or this one, and I just go to town. You just crank it, turn it up, you know, get some nice cashews or something, and you know, if you're a lightweight like me, get the Mick Ultra. You know, if you're a heavyweight, you know, get the Crown Royal. I don't know, or the B&B or Frangelico. I do like Frangelico. Anyone have Frangelico out there? Nice little liqueur, little sipper. You know, you sip it, you can, you know, take up a whole side of an album sipping on your Frangelico. So think about it. You know, might do the body good. You never know. The Tourist, Dave Stewart and Annie Lennox, before they became the Eurythmics, had a cool band called The Tourist. And this is called Reality Effect, has a hype sticker on it. Good stuff on here. The two big songs that drew me in was, this came out in like 1981, I think, 80 or 81. 81 or 80? I don't know. But anyway, I was over in England in the United States Air Force, assigned overseas, and they were big in the UK, The Tourist. And two of the songs on this album, Reality Effect, I Only Want to Be With You, which was a cover of the Dusty Springfield hit, and So Good to Be Back Home Again. Oh, all over the radio in Great Britain then, folks, and that's when I fell in love with this album and this band, and did not get this there, though. This is my US pressing of it. I do have a British pressing of it, but it's packed away somewhere. It's very similar. I think there's a couple of different song changes on the playlist, but all in all, very similar albums. But this is my American pressing. Who remembers, going back a year or two more now since I made a video about him, Danny Wilkerson. Wilkerson. Doc Dacus, he's into Wilkerson. Steve Schnee's into Wilkerson. Many of you others got into Wilkerson after that album came out, the self-titled Wilkerson album from a couple of years ago. One of the finest, best pieces of music in the world. You know, if I had it handy, I should have took that. I should have grabbed that one. I should have been showing you Wilkerson, you know? Oh well. Wilkerson, get it. Talk to Doc Dacus and Steve Schnee, they'll tell you. But in the interim, I have a really rare, cool album here by the Penguins. Danny Wilkerson is currently in the Penguins as well. And here's a really rare black and white cover. The budget must have been a little light. Mad About the Band, the Penguins. Here's the back. And this is a really rare album to have in my book, folks, to find something like this. It's on something called Circle Records. It was released in 1988. And just, you know, if you get a chance, folks, you may not be able to find something like this. This is very hard to find, but get the Wilkerson album, get some Penguins. There's other releases by the Penguins. Got a W in there on the spelling. Check out the Penguins. I've been listening to this lately, and I really love it. Here's kind of an oldie but goodie, but I've been listening to this a lot lately. The earlier Bee Gees stuff. Bee Gees Gold, Volume 1. It's just a simple, basic, you know, single disc album on RSO Polydor Records. This came out in 1976 or so, but, you know, you're talking stuff like How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, Holiday, To Love Somebody, Massachusetts. Where we are right now, I'm standing in Massachusetts. Words, Lonely Days, Run to Me, I've Got to Get a Message to You, My World, I Started a Joke, New York Mining Disaster. This has to be one of the greatest albums. I know it's a comp album, but you have to have this. Yeah, the material on this Bee Gees Gold Volume 1 is just unreal. I play this a lot, folks. Been listening to it a lot lately. How about you? Are you into this? I'm into it. Three Dog Night. I've been listening to this album a lot lately. Three Dog Night, Naturally. I dig this album. I dig it, dig it, dig it. Back cover. Just great stuff on here. Joy to the World's on here. Liar. There's just so many great songs, folks. Check out Three Dog Night, Naturally. Band that I've always loved. My dad was into them back in the late 60s, early 70s, which got me into them. I love it. Couple more, folks. I'm going. Been listening to this a lot lately. Yeah, late 80s. You could call it hair metal, but they're really not hair metal, folks. They got lumped into it. Shame on them because they kind of had that look of hair metal. But enough's enough. They are hardcore power pop in the vein of Cheap Trick, in my opinion. I love this band. They're not hair metal in the purest sense. They're beyond that. They're much better than hair metal. They're cool power pop, folks. This is their first album, just self-titled. Check out some Enough's Enough. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. A recommendation, and this is a gift from Paul, Fit to Be Tie-Dyed. He sent me a couple of April Wine albums about a year or so ago. And this one he highly recommended, First Glance, and I love it. I was just listening to this the other day. Great album. Thank you, Paul. Love April Wine. Good band. Speaking of Enough's Enough, they're not really together in their original form now, but Donnie V, their lead singer, went off on his own and put out this great album last year called Beautiful Things. Nice little Rickenbacker guitar there. Donnie V, Beautiful Things. Folks, I don't think I did a full review and everything on this, but I'm recommending it to you now. Get a chance, do some sampling, whatever you have to do. Check out Donnie V, former lead singer of Enough's Enough, Beautiful Things. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Power pop, Beatlesque, wonderful, make you happy, make you smile. If you're into this kind of music, you like my channel, and you know what kind of music I like, get it. I'm telling you, recommended highly. And last but not least, a really cool one I hadn't taken out in a while, and I put it on, and I said, my goodness, I got to listen to that more. The Raspberries, Side 3, with an original pressing with the die-cut bushel of raspberries with the die-cut top. Very hard to find. If you can get this, get it. Get it on CD. Do whatever you have to do. It has the hype sticker. Includes the smash song, Tonight. What a great power pop rock and roll song, folks. Opens up nice like this. You open up the bushel. There's all the raspberries with the whipped cream. Gotta have the whipped cream with the raspberries. And it's cool because the record's a top loader. All die-cut sleeve. Look at that. Pictures of the band on the front and the back. Just so happy to have this, folks. It's just very cool the way they did this. And that's it, folks. I know this is one of my longest videos in a while, 18, 19 minutes. I'm sorry. But I just wanted to chit-chat with you and show you some stuff I've been listening to and see how you all doing. And really cool hanging out with you. So, chit-chat with Matt. We'll be back again. Take care. Bye-bye. Bless you.